Hello everybody and welcome back to AnimeQuest for my review of Studio 8-Bit's first original series, the 12-episode anime Comet Lucifer. A pure example of mecha anime tropes properly executed. For only 12 episodes at least. The plot of Comet Lucifer focuses around a young orphan boy named Sogo who lives in the mining town of Garden Indigo, on the fictional planet of Gift. Upon getting trapped in a mine, he finds a mysterious amnesiac girl named Felia sealed within a crystal. At the same time, the World of Gift's military arrives to take Felia for the power inside of her. Her personal mecha named Moira shows up to save her, and Sogo gains control over Moira's power. Or on the other hand, write down the synopsis for random mecha anime here. Now, as you can see, it's no secret that based purely off of that plot description that many parallels can be drawn to other shows of that genre. So the term original anime by Studio 8-Bit comes purely from the fact that there wasn't any original source material for Comet Lucifer. But to the anime's credit, at least it executes these common tropes of the genre in good and sometimes interesting ways. For example, the anime is kind of like banana bread. It looks like a boring-ass loaf of bread, but until you actually take a bite, you don't know that there's actually banana and nuts in it. And you'll be pleasantly surprised when you take a bite of Comet Lucifer. Speaking of one of those aforementioned interesting ways, Sogo, Felia, and the character Kaun are all characters with names I've seriously never heard of before in fiction, anime, or otherwise. And boom, segue! Now that we're on the topic of the characters, there are only 5 I want to talk about, though there are plenty to talk about from psychos to ladybots. Anyways, the characters. First you have Kaun. Her only apparent purpose at first is to be that childhood friend love interest who's around only to create an uninteresting love triangle between Felia, her, and Sogo. Thankfully, this love triangle dissolves pretty fast. Kaun does eventually become more important to the story, and being a character who helps Felia learn about love, life, as well as being human, and she's unselfish and likable to boot. Though that's really all I can say about her without giving away any spoilers to the series. Next we have the dynamic duo of Domon, who I've nicknamed Grandpa Waifu for his caretaking abilities, and Gus Stewart, the military genius after Sogo and Felia. These two have probably my favorite character relationship in the entire anime. Both served together in combat, but due to spoilerific tragic events, Domon looked after our main protagonist Sogo and left the military. Gus took this as a betrayal from his friend and partner who saved his life during the war and holds a grudge against him to this day, allowing it to affect his mission at hand as well. And this aspect and relationship and backstory that these two characters share has just kind of grown on me. It's, to me, the most interesting part of the anime, but I can't dawdle too much on it. I gotta move on to the other characters. And lastly, you have Sogo and Felia, the two of the hour, our main protagonists. My feelings on the relationship of these two are complicated. On one hand, their romance in the anime seems forced. The creators even created BS reasons 5 episodes in to change Felia from a young, naive jailbait girl.
Girls need to learn how to play with themselves.
Huh? What?
My daughter, Braith, well, she is a dirty
slut. Hello, fellas.
Ah, it burns!
Take a good look. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for.
Not now, Braith.
Stop trying to change me, Mother. I'm not a baby anymore. I'm almost a woman. Right, fellas? Right? Right?
Jailbait.
Now come on. Please don't leave me.
To a busty teen, so Sogo, though only 14, wouldn't be a creepy pedo like this purple-haired motherfucker. But the relationship is cute and innocent, and I appreciate the creators leaving as much teen angst out of it on top of that, and the finale of the show may not have been the happiest, but it was fitting for the end of their relationship, and I applaud the creators for doing so. And before I wrap up talking about the characters, let me say it's nice to see a happy, non-emo protagonist in this genre for once. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm glad to see Sogo have a smile on his face and not be the same sort of angsty character like Shinji Ikari, for example. And would you look at the time? Time for a pleb with lackluster know-how on the animation process and creation of music to basically critique this anime's animation and music. Now, let me be frank and continue to be frank in this subject on later reviews and this one. I do not like CGI, especially when you're assaulted by it. I gave Gyo Tokyo Fish Attack a pass, but not this. The CG robots are pretty damn ugly. The design of them overall are fine, but the CGI looks bad. CGI used to be a means of, helping, having it in the background, sort of complementing the 2D animation. Not this time around. Luckily, the 2D animation in terms of character movement and colors and in designs is gorgeous, especially the backgrounds. 8-Bit Studio really brought GIF alive. As for the music, I enjoyed the opening song as well as some of the choirs incorporated into the action scenes. And though I didn't care for the music, and even though the animation for Comet Lucifer's 3 ending songs wasn't all too impressive, you still have to admire the creators for caring enough to create 3 ending songs. And lastly, the Japanese acting sounded good, with hopefully a dub by Sentai Filmworks down the line. They do hold the license to it after all, and let's just say Sentai is the one who decides whether or not they actually want to dub something. Ah, but alas, it is time. Time for the final verdict. The anime is far from perfect, and even a stone's throw from being great. But after all the familiar tropes and CGI robots, there is truly a fun anime here, and I present Comet Lucifer with a 6.7 out of 10. Until next time, see you guys on the next Quest for Anime.
We drink to our youth, today's come and gone, for the age of aggression is just about done. We'll drive out the storm cloaks and restore what we own. With our blood and our steel, we will take back our home. Down with Ulfric, the killer of kings. On the day of your death, we will drink and we'll sing. We're the children of Skyrim, and we fight all our lives. And when Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies. But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
Hello everybody, Josh here, the creator of AnimeQuest. I just wanted to make a video talking about this real quick because I recently watched one of my older reviews from a couple weeks ago. I recently just got my channel back up and running, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it, especially now that I'm a bit better at editing my videos. I want to get a newer camera and some newer recording equipment and some newer software too for like video editing purposes. But until that, I'd just like to clarify something on my review of Unbreakable Machine. I'm off script here. Even when I'm on script, I'm not very good. But my review for Unbreakable Machine Doll. After rewatching it, I realized that I gave the anime a 7.2. And after going through looking for my old sheet of the written review, those numbers add up. I see how I got those numbers now, and I only gave Comet Lucifer a 6.7, and those numbers add up as well. The problem with this is I find Comet Lucifer even though I was as fair on it as possible, I find Comet Lucifer to be a better anime. This is a problem. The problem is my numerical rating. My numerical rating is designed to be as fair and as critical as possible, while adding a little bit of my own biased opinion into it to spice things up. The problem is I went way too easy on Unbreakable Machine Doll, and after thinking on it, I've come to a conclusion as to why that is. Unlike Comet Lucifer, which I watched on Crunchyroll, I streamed it. I did not spend $50 on Comet Lucifer. I went into Unbreakable Machine Doll really wanting to like this anime, and I can see now that's probably why I gave it a 7.2. Upon rewatching it, which, yes, I did rewatch it, I have confirmed that I don't think that this is a 7.2. In fact, I think it's worse than Comet Lucifer. And there were also certain aspects to it that I gave a higher rating because of different reasons. Like, some of the quirks of the story were a bit unconventional and a bit original in some ways, but they were poorly executed. But because they tried something different, I gave them a slightly higher mark in the story department than I gave Comet Lucifer, even though Comet Lucifer incorporated a lot of tropes and heavily borrowed from other shows. It was better than Unbreakable Machine Doll because it was executed better. So I dialed back on the rating for that. Another thing I dialed back on was my enjoyment rating. Yes, out of 5, that is a rating. I have 5 categories, all 10 out of 10, and then I add them together and come up with the average, and that's how my scores are made. That's how Comet Lucifer got its score. I'm working on getting rid of my numerical score. It's going to be a while. I can't really think of anything. I borrowed Jeremy John's score for my review of Gyo Tokyo Fish Attack, but I'm trying to come up with something on my own. Now that I'm looking at it again, Unbreakable Machine Doll is more of a low 6 or a high 5. It's not exactly a 7.2, which is 0.5 above Comet Lucifer. And I just wanted to address this. I'm trying to fix this, and I'm going to throw this at the end of the video. This is an aspect I'm trying to fix. So, even though I didn't get any flack for my score of Unbreakable Machine Doll, mainly because not a lot of people have seen that video, I still decided it was best to go back and let you guys know now that I changed my mind, and I'm going to try to not let the fact that maybe I purchased something for a lot of money, so I wanted to justify the purchase, affect my score. Because don't get me wrong, I did enjoy Unbreakable Machine Doll. I don't regret the fact that I purchased it, but I try not to let certain aspects like that affect my scores from now on. So thank you, everybody. I know the review's over. It's been over for, wow, about almost 5 minutes now. And thank you for watching and maybe sticking around for this update. And maybe drop a like, a subscribe, and a comment. And I will see you guys on the next Quest for Anime.